up, guys? We are live. Am I coming through loud and clear? Dave, let me know.
Yeah, you're coming through great for me, mate. Yeah,
you're coming through nice and clear yourself, man. We are live tonight. It is Sunday night. It is 11 p.m. in the UK, at least. And there's Gareth. Why the fuck aren't you on the stream? The link is there if you want to join, rather than linger in the chat like a little weird stalker. So please jump on if you could you give us half an hour of your time. It'd be much appreciated.
If you don't mind, Gareth.
Yeah, this is just So basically, this is just like one of those. So I was like, oh, I've got Jay's in the chat. So what's up, Jay? Random live reaction to a slasher movie. Top 32 movies of all time. This is basically just it's not irrelevant of the list. It's basically us reacting to certain movies, where they're placed by a certain website, and maybe where we place them. So it's not really about the website's list. It's more about like what we would do with said movies, because it's the top 32. It's a bit random. Top 32 slasher movies of all time. They're all going to be like well-known slasher movies that we all know, we all love, we've all seen. And basically, I think it's just where we would place them, and like where said websites, which has fucked up basically, or maybe got it right. So anyway, don't think your mic is picking up. I think it's going through phone, laptop. Oh fuck! Does I sound like I'm coming through a bit?
You sound fine to me, mate, but he could be right with that actually. Well, we can hear you clearly, like.
Yeah, let me just check the settings. Audio, mic. Does that sound better?
Oh, well, yeah, that's coming through the mic now, yeah.
Okay, Jay Jay is like the fucking tech guy.
He is.
Jay, let me know, man. Does this sound better? Is that as good as last week? Because last week was fucking on fire. Last week was the audio. I was really happy with the audio from last Sunday. So if it's on level with that, I'm good with that. So let me know. Come on, type faster, Jay. Come on. I've got the glitchy fucking camera though. I can't fix that. It's so annoying. It's just like the connections for like these webcams. It's just like they're so shit. Okay, that's good. Okay, yeah. So basically, yeah, this is like just like Gareth still hasn't replied to fucking. You're not going to reply, Gareth?
That's him now, is it?
No, that's that's my son. I'll have to reply to him in a minute. Yeah, so Gareth's not replying. Okay, so I'm assuming he's going to bed. Okay, so basically, yeah, everyone in the chat, future people watching in the future. So yeah, top 32 slasher movies of all time. The website is irrelevant. That's their opinion. What is important is, for fuck's sake, just Dave, we just entertain the chat for 2 seconds, please.
I will try my best. Oh, the pills are being live, eh? How was everybody doing tonight anyway? All good? So what do we think is going to be on this list anyway? I think you're going to have the obvious ones on you. You're going to have like some of your Friday the 13th. There's going to be...
Okay, I'm back.
Oh, you're back now, are you? All right.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Okay. So basically, yeah, top 32 slasher movies of all time. Irrelevant of what the website thinks. It's more our opinion on what we think where should be, what goes where, if that makes any sense. I think Halloween will probably be number 1 in this list, but it's quite a normie list. So let's just jump right into it anyway. Yeah, okay, Gareth. Dance, monkey dance. Right, yeah, you just linger in the shadows. Okay. Okay, so let me just present, share screen. So you can see that, right?
Yeah, I can see it, mate. Yep.
Okay, there we go. I won't be able to see the chat obviously for the next. Well, I'll jumping in and out the chat, but if you can maybe keep an eye on the chat if anything like pops up of any interest. Maybe you can answer a few questions. So yeah, this is Parade.coms. This sounds like a very, very mainstream, boring sort of website. They probably have only ever seen like 4 slasher films in their lives, but it's kind of like the fact that they got Halloween as the sort of like the thumbnail, like the main pitch. I'm kind of thinking Halloween's going to be the #1 movie because like the thing is though, it's like when you do like these lists, like if like the greatest horror movies of all time, there's such a wide variety of movies, genres to choose from. You know what I mean? There's like everything imaginable, and you get like stuff like the Exorcist always comes #1 wrongly because I don't like. Well, in my opinion, I fucking think that film is overrated. Well, I don't. I think it's a good film, but I don't think it's the greatest horror movie of all time. I think it's just kind of.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. To be honest with you, Mike.
And I think The Shining has got the same sort of like prestige because Stanley Kubrick directed it. You know what I mean? I think Halloween is the greatest horror movie of all time. I'm going to be biased, but it's certainly the greatest slasher film of all time by far. You don't agree, Dave? Oh, he doesn't agree. What the fuck, Dave? Come on, Dave. You must agree, Dave. This is how things work in 2023. If you don't agree with me, then you're a bigot.
All right, okay. Well, fair enough then.
If you don't agree with me, you're a bigot and you're racist. So, why don't you agree with my opinion?
Should know that anyway. It's in my bio. I love the movie, mate. I would have to really think about it if I wouldn't say it's like my favorite slasher. So
I'll tell you what, don't tell me what your favorite slasher movie is.
Okay. Yeah.
Then we'll when it does pop up, then you can tell me. Okay, we
Okay.
start off at number 32. We've got Friday the 13th. That's a controversial choice for number 32. Especially if they don't put another Friday the 13th movie in there, which they probably will.
They need to, because there's a lot more that are better than the original.
Yeah.
In my opinion, anyway.
Now, this could be one of those. I don't know anything about this website. This could be one of those really, really lazy websites where they just think, well, we'll just put the original movie for every franchise in. So there's no 4 or 6, even though everybody knows the 4 and 6 are by far the vast majority of the fans think 4 and 6 are the greatest movies of that franchise. Now, I personally think we'll see 4.
We should see 2, 4, and 6 in my opinion.
I don't think we'll see 2. Personally, I don't think we'll see 2. I think we'll see 4.
Yeah,
I'm not even sure we'll see 6.
I'll be surprised if we don't. But I think 2 should be up there. I think 2 is by far a better movie than the original.
It's not a controversial statement. I think a lot of people would put 2 over 1.
Yeah.
Like I've said before, Friday the 13th is one of those unusual franchises where the vast majority of the fans don't like the original movie as the favorite. Halloween, 99% of Halloween fans prefer the original over everything else.
Yeah.
I'd say 80%, 70%, maybe 60% prefer the original Elm Street over the sequels. But there's a larger number of people who like 2 and 3. But with Friday the 13th, it's spread out over, there's a lot of people there are some people who like the original. A lot of people like 4, a lot of people like 6, some people like 2, and some people like 3 because it's the introduction of Hockey Max Jason. But it is an unusual sort of franchise in that there's no sort of definitive best movie in terms there's you can't really nail it, like say, oh, well, that's definitively the best Friday the 13th movie. It's not even close. It's just there's a lot of people who have a little difference of opinion.
Yeah.
Number 31, we got I Know What You Did Last Summer. I actually watched this last night. I just wanted to rewatch it. I've not seen this film for about a good 15, 20 years. And
it's been a while for me as well. Yeah.
It is of its time.
Definitely.
I couldn't believe how young Ryan Philippe looked in this film.
Yeah.
He looks really young in this film. And there's a comfort. I love the setting for this film, like that sort of that setting by the coast with the sea. I'm always like a sucker for that sort of thing. Like, so I love The Fog. You
Mm,
know, I mean, it's not aged compared to like other films at the time. It's aged a little bit more, but I still love. I still love the film. It's not a great film,
mm,
but it is that sort. It's got that. It's because that movie dropped in '97. It's kind of got that nostalgic feel for me. It's because it was like it came around at that time of like the rebirth of the horror movie of the slasher film
yeah.
just after Scream. So that's quite. If this film had come out in 2004, I wouldn't give two fucks about this film. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the fact that it came out in '97. It's like between '96 and 90, like those like Scream 2, this Urban Legend.
yeah,
I've got a massive soft spot for those films,
yeah,
and I mean I still think Scream is a classic, and I still love Scream 2.
yeah.
This is more goes on to it more borders on nostalgia for me rather than thinking it's a great movie. But I still love it.
Oh, same. I remember going to the cinema to watch it. And, I haven't seen it for a long time, so I'd need to rewatch it again. But I know what you did last summer, and I'm not ashamed to admit that. I think it's a solid slasher movie
Yeah,
still,
yeah,
But I'd have to give it a rewatch. But
yeah,
yeah, I love the setting of it. I love the plot of it. It gets a little bit daft near the end, but
yeah.
so do a lot of slasher movies. You know what I
Not
mean?
not quite as daft as Jack Black's dreadlocks in the second film, but
Oh, I'll tell you, that won't be on the list.
no, I very much doubt it.
Yeah.
Number 30, we've got Silent Night, Deadly Night. That's okay, okay. Right, in what universe is this film better than Friday the 13th? Because it fucking ain't. I like Silent Night, Deadly Night, but fuck me,
Yeah.
it's not as good as Friday the fucking 13th, man. Come on.
No, I wouldn't say it is. The thing is with Silent Night, Deadly Night, I agree with you with it. It is okay. It's not bad. I don't think it's great neither. I personally probably wouldn't have it on the list, full stop.
No, I wouldn't. No, no way.
But yeah, it's all right. I'll tell you one thing: it's 100% better than the second one.
Well, the thing is, though, anybody who says they like 2 over 1, you're basically saying you like a movie which is 50% of the first film,
Yeah,
which is the 50% part of the film which is better than the only
basically.
good. If it wasn't for like Garbage Day, that movie wouldn't nobody would remember that film.
Oh no.
It became a meme. It
Yeah,
gained traction through the meme, and it's like it's become like its own thing. But come on, man, that Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 is fucking atrocious. It
oh,
is.
it's bad.
An atrocious film, and it's like apart from a couple of memes, the best parts of the film are what's taken from the first film.
Yeah,
I love Eric.
basically.
I love Eric. I love Eric Freeman, but my God, I mean, yeah, it's just I've got no words.
It's awful. It's some of the best eyebrow acting you'll ever
Yeah.
see.
Oh, definitely. Number 29, we have got. Oh God, we got right. This,
Ooh.
this, like this. Okay, this is like okay. This isn't quite as generic as I thought because if they're putting this at 29, that's a
Mm.
strange choice. Because really, if this is just a generic website with a generic slasher movie list, this should have been top 10.
Oh,
So the fact this is 29, this should be in the top 5.
100%.
This is one of the greatest slasher movies of all time.
Yeah, it's
mean,
yeah, it's probably it's definitely one of my favorites anyway. That is low,
yeah.
so I'm intrigued to see what is actually in their top 10 or top
Well,
5.
I'm definitely expecting to see part 6 now. If this is 29th, I'm definitely expecting to see part 6.
Mate, I'm still thinking we'll see part 2 in this list.
We could do if
You
they're
know,
putting 4 at 29.
yeah.
I
Or
mean,
4. You can ask me on any given day, mate, and my answer will probably change. But I always kind of go between part 4, part 6 as
yeah,
my
I do.
favorite.
Yeah, I
Friday the
do.
13th
Yeah,
for
me too.
like favorite slasher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love part 4. I love everything about part 4. It's got one of my best Jasons in it. Thought Ted White was brilliant as
Yeah,
Jason in that
yeah, he
movie.
was, and he was old in that film as well.
Yeah, I think he was kind of in his late 50s,
Yeah,
maybe
he died.
hitting 60 or something.
Well, he died a year or two ago. He was like 96, so he's fucking
Yeah,
old in final chapter.
yeah,
Old for
yeah.
Jason. Old for Jason, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. And there are certain scenes where you kind of see Jason run. that is definitely a man in his 50s running.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can tell. But he was brilliant as Jason, like really brought like a real kind of
Yeah.
menacing and terrifying presence to him.
Yeah.
And obviously the Crispin Glover, like he's just man,
Well,
he's just
God.
amazing in that movie.
Yeah,
Complete,
brilliant.
and that dance is probably one of the greatest dance scenes ever
Well,
in any
that's
movie. Full
you
stop.
talk about memes. Jesus Christ, that's been meme to death. That.
That's it. Just
So we've got number 28. We've got Haunt, which I love. Haunt,
yeah,
great movie.
yeah,
Apparently, it's just been getting a bit of resurgence on Netflix. I think Netflix have put it out there, and it's been getting really good numbers because
yeah,
obviously, you put stuff on Netflix, and people like wonder what the hell that is. And apparently, a lot of people who haven't seen this film have like been flocking to it. But yeah, I mean, this and Hellfest, to me, are like the two. Like when it comes to like that sort of extreme haunted house ride, sort of like subgenre. This and Hellfest are like the goats. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Although Hellfest isn't really, Hellfest is not really extreme haunted, because it's very much like it's just part of, it's more just like a big sort of open sort of like theme park.
Mm,
So it's not like the this or the houses that October built. If you've seen that one, but it's on the same sort of, it's in that sort of subgenre of like, hot, haunted house theme park style shit.
yeah,
But this movie blew me away when I saw it, and I was like, and really clever use of like, modern technology, whereas, before they enter they have to give up their phones, which is a good way of navigating the whole, just calling for help. And
yeah,
yeah, love the film.
yeah. I did. I think I watched it on Netflix actually. I think I watched it probably about maybe 4 years ago, something like that. Because I wasn't too familiar with it. I think I actually watched Chris Stuckman did a review of it, and that's what got me onto the movie because he raved about it. And then I saw it on Netflix like a few months after, and I gave it a watch, and I actually really enjoyed it. I'll need to rewatch it actually.
Yeah.
So it's not really fresh in my memory, but I remember really enjoying it. Yeah, it was definitely a hidden gem at the time, anyway. And I'm glad more people are actually getting to watch it now.
We've got 27. This is a strange one. House of Wax, 27.
Ahead of Friday the 13th,
How
Chapter 4.
that's a weird choice. This it's like it's almost like they've just randomly put a bunch of movies into a generator and just spewed out the results. Because I mean, I don't mind this film, but it's
I don't mind it myself,
better
actually.
than Friday the 13th Part 4. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, I disagree with that. But I'm the same as you, mate. I don't mind that movie. I actually thought it was all right. I wasn't expecting it to be. I've got to be
No.
honest with you. I thought it was going to be terrible, but it was actually quite entertaining. Had some
Yeah,
good moments in it.
It is. I mean, Paris Hilton certainly plays up to the slutty sort of sex tape.
Yeah.
Doesn't she? Did this film come out after the sex tape? Doesn't she like play up to the fact that she did a sex tape in the film?
Oh,
Doesn't she like
it's
doesn't she
definitely
get
after. I'm sure.
yeah?
I'm
Doesn't she
sure of
get
it.
but doesn't she suggest to her boyfriend that they do a sex tape in the film? I seem to remember something about like where they. I can't
Oh,
remember. It's been a
they
long
could do.
time.
I can't
It's been a
remember.
long time since I've seen the film.
Very long time for me and all, mate. Yeah,
26, we got Your Next. Great movie.
yeah,
Adam
yeah.
Wingard.
Love this film.
Yeah. Definitely one of the best home invasion movies. In terms of like far out there home invasion movies, I mean, I still think a more realistic home invasion movie where it's more like real life is creepier,
Mm,
far creepier. But in terms of like an all out sort of like slasher movie, in terms of like just like balls to the wall,
mm.
in terms of home invasion, then this is definitely up there. I love
Oh
this.
yeah,
Yeah, I love to see where it's like before shit's gone down and they're just having the meal, and the boyfriend of one of the daughters is just like you just see something in the window, and the next thing you know, arrow goes through him, and it's just
yeah,
like and it's just like just fucking it's just all out fucking carnage from that point on. It's like because it's so unusual to see like I mean it's not I mean the masks are kind of like they're not like something like completely brand new in terms of wearing animal masks, but
yeah.
just in terms of weapons, just like the bow and the arrows and stuff, it's just like it's not something we really see that often in a slasher movie. You know what I mean? It's like
No.
using weapons from like a distance, rather something like that, rather than just like up close and personal, like machetes and knives and shit. But I mean, what's your opinions? I mean,
Oh, I absolutely love this movie. I watched it quite late. It was probably a couple of years after it came out. I think I watched like The Guest first, actually, because it was the
yeah,
same guys that
yeah. I
made
think
that,
that
didn't
came
they?
out. It came out a year later, I think.
Yeah, so I think I watched The Guest, and then I just worked my way backwards, and then came onto this one, and I absolutely loved it. I own it on Blu-ray. I've got it here. I love the lady that plays Erin. I think her name is the main character.
Is it
Like
the Australian girl?
that's her. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
she's
like
like
you just don't expect her to become a
no,
complete badass. It
yeah,
just
yeah.
comes like it kind of comes out of nowhere, but it's
But
absolutely fantastic.
But have you noticed? But because this film, I mean, it's like obviously 10, 11 years old, but
Yeah,
it's not. It doesn't feel like forced. Like
no,
the strong female cat, it seems to be like forced on us now.
yeah,
This is just kind of just like organic, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
oh yeah,
She's still feminine,
yeah.
and she's still like this that, but she's just a strong character, and she can
Oh,
just
she
deal with
just
shit. Whereas, like, I think if they did this film in 2023, 2024, it would just be like you'd just be bulldozed over the head. This is a
mm,
strong female. This woman
yeah,
can, you know what I mean? It's just like, and she's still vulnerable as well. It's
yeah.
like yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a great fucking movie.
Oh, it's awesome. She's a fantastic character.
25, Nightmare on Elm Street Part Two. So
Oh, okay.
okay, so not your favorite film then?
No,
I thought
you
this might
never.
be the one. I thought this might be the one. That was your
No,
favorite Tasha movie.
no, mate. It never used to be. I never used to be a fan of Elm Street Part Two, and then when I was doing the Elm Street series, when I was reviewing them for my channel, it'd been years since I'd seen Part Two, and I was surprised by how much I actually really did enjoy Part Two. Like this time around, there's elements of it I really like. I think it's definitely the scariest Freddy in the whole
Yeah,
series is in
definitely.
Part
But
Two.
it's real as well.
Exactly.
Like he's in the real world.
Yeah, it's the scariest. I think it's like the best looking one we've got. I love the makeup on Robert England in this one. He just looks he just looks horrible. Like you just really don't want to bump into that guy whatsoever.
No. Did,
And I like how they did try to go into a different direction. I know ultimately they kind of reverted back in Dream Warriors or
yeah,
whatever, but I kind of liked where they were heading in Part Two, just to spice it up to make it a bit more different.
yeah.
And I feel like over time, this has actually generated kind of more love from the fan base, or when new eyes are coming onto this now, they're actually appreciating it a lot more than when it originally came out.
Well, did you when did you first watch the film?
Oh God,
Like, were you a
Christ.
kid? Were you a kid when you watched it?
I would have been, mate. Yeah, I
Yes.
probably would have
Yeah,
been
I was
about,
as well. Yeah,
yeah, I probably would have been about what, 8, 9 years old, something like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Probably like late 80s.
Yeah,
So did you obviously like when I was a kid? I was probably like I'm a bit older than you, so I was like 13 maybe when I watched it, like
yeah.
late 80s again, but like 89 maybe 90, but
Mm.
didn't get onto the gay
Oh no,
subtext.
not at all.
It's I didn't fucking know anything about that. I was like, and
Exactly.
then when you watch it later, it's so obvious. It's just like when
Oh,
he's
it's very
dancing
obvious.
around, when he's cleaning his room, and he's shoving the drawer shut with his ass, and it's just like,
Oh yeah.
how did we not see that? But obviously, when you're a kid, you don't fucking see that, do you?
Oh, didn't have a clue, mate. It
No,
just
no.
didn't even enter my mind at all. But yeah, when you rewatch it now, oh man, it stands out
Yeah,
so much in like nearly every single scene.
yeah,
There's, I mean, freaking out. There's male bare ass in this movie at least more than 3 times.
yeah. No, like the
You know,
shower scene, the shower scene. If that's not an aside, the shower scene.
the shower scene,
When he's
and
getting
then
whipped. Yeah, it's like
yeah, and then when the two characters are fighting in the field, they're basically pulling each
yes.
other's fucking pants
Oh
down.
my
Do you remember?
god, yes.
Yeah,
On
yeah.
is it the baseball? Is it?
I think it is the baseball.
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah,
god, he's
yeah. But
basically butt
also,
fucking him at that point.
but also in that movie as well, it has one of the best openings of an Elm Street as well on the school bus. That's
Yeah, yeah,
creepy.
oh yeah, yeah. Well, that icon, that VHS cover art with the bus is just iconic, and it got Freddy like
Got
in
Freddy like that.
it just oh my god, that's just like iconic. That I mean,
Yeah,
I kind of
it
like
is.
when as a kid growing up, Freddy's Revenge was kind of like more iconic than Part One. I think
Mm,
the kids in my school were kind of more obsessed with two than they were with one.
yeah,
Maybe just the fact that he was just he was just out in the real world, just like, the pool scene where he's just going around.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
So number 24, we got Sleepaway Camp.
Okay.
I don't mind. I mean, okay, this movie's more famous for like the final scene. I mean, I
Oh,
think
yeah.
it's a decent slasher movie. I mean, I don't think it's up there. I mean, I think I'm quite happy with being 24. I mean,
Yeah.
I like 2 better because that's kind of like I saw 2 first as a kid, and I didn't see 1 until I was like maybe about 18, 19. Because I saw 2, and in the UK it's known as Nightmare Vacation, or it was back in the day.
Yes.
So I saw
Yes.
Nightmare Vacation 2, and the only reason I watched we rented out Nightmare Vacation 2 when we were kids is because on the cover you've got um
Freddy,
Freddy's
Jason, and
Fred
yes, that's
Freddy's
right.
the Jason mask and Freddy's gloves.
That's
And
right.
before the internet, everybody in the school playground had said, "Oh, there's this movie called Nightmare Vacation 2, and it's got Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger in it." And we were like, "What?" But it's not a Friday movie, or it's not a nightmare movie. Like, no, it's called I don't know, he said Sleepaway Camp. It's called Nightmare Vacation 2.
Yeah.
So we went and rented this movie, and we watched it. It was like we liked it. Except fucking plenty of TNA as well,
Yeah, it did.
Fucking hell. As it's like 11-year-old watching that, Jesus.
Yeah, he calls himself the Tip Patrol or something, didn't he?
Yeah.
I
But yeah,
remember that.
yeah, no Freddy Jason. But they do off kids that film, because you've got like those
Mhm.
the 2 young lads who are like they call themselves like the Tip Patrol,
The
whatever.
Tip Patrol, yeah.
They're only about 13 years old and they get fucking killed.
Yeah.
So
Doesn't hold back. I was
no.
the same. I was the same as you watching the movie, mate. I was. You're right. Nightmare Vacation 2. It was. I'm having flashbacks now thinking about it. I was the same. I watched that first, and I thought it was okay. It was obviously like super low budget
Yeah.
and everything, wasn't it? And but I thought it was all right, and I didn't know like it was a sequel to like Sleepaway Camp or anything because I hadn't seen Sleepaway Camp by that point.
Yeah.
So the first time I watched Sleepaway Camp was when it was on the Horror Channel one night about, oh, fucking hell, Christ, I don't know, maybe about 10 years ago was the first time I actually watched Sleepaway Camp. And I enjoyed it. Like,
Did you know the final reveal at the time, or
no, didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue. So the ending, I must admit, I don't think you're supposed to laugh, but I was pissing myself laughing at the end of that movie, mate. I think it was more just the sound that she was making, like them weird fucking noises and stuff.
Yeah.
And but I could remember at the time, like if I watched it as a kid, the ending, I think that would probably creep me the hell out, because the way she's looking and stuff is pretty freaky.
He's looking.
Oh, sorry, he. But yeah,
I'm not going to assume their gender.
you shouldn't know.
If a man's got a cock now, I don't assume that's a man. It could be a woman.
It could. You never know, mate. We live in a strange world. But yeah, I actually think Sleepaway Camp's actually quite a solid slasher. To be fair,
I've got no issues with 24. Number 23, you've got Blood and Black Lace. I love this movie. It's a giallo from '64. It's a Mario Bava movie.
There you go. Then.
Yeah,
I've never seen it.
I only seen this film recently because I've been trying to get into some of the older giallo movies. I've seen the Argento movies like from the '70s and the '80s, but I've been trying to like, obviously like JT's big into a lot of the giallo stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is one of the very first giallos, probably like maybe the third or fourth giallo that was ever made. And it's in color as well, which helps because a couple of the earlier ones were in black and white, which I don't mind, but I do like a color movie, to be fair.
Yeah.
This is definitely, I mean, I'm a giallo virgin, really. I've only seen
me too.
I've only seen like most of the Argento stuff and a few other movies, so I'm not in any way an expert. But if this isn't one of the best giallo movies ever made, I'd be surprised because it is a great movie. 22, we've got My Bloody Valentine from '81. I love this film.
Yeah,
I love this
one of my favorites.
Yeah, love it.
One of my favorites. Haven't seen it for a while. And funny enough, weirdly enough, actually today I was kind of thinking of doing a review of this for Valentine's Day. Just an excuse, to stick it back on because I haven't seen it for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. This is one of the first slasher films I watched as a kid, like really early on.
Yeah.
When I was really starting to get into horror. I shouldn't. I was way too young to be watching these movies, but sod it. But oh, I loved My Bloody Valentine. Like I loved everything about it. Didn't scare me or anything, even as a kid. Weirdly enough,
Yeah.
it was one I could easily just stick on and watch, and I was fine with it. But yeah, absolutely. I think it's very underrated.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's underrated by the horror community. I think it's very underrated by like the wider community when it comes to like sort of like acknowledging great horror movies. I think this
that makes more sense. Yeah,
because it's kind of like it because it was only the one film, not including any remakes, but whereas Michael Myers, Freddy, Jason, they all got like multiple films.
Yeah.
Harry Warden only got like one movie.
Yeah.
And I love the setting for this film. I love that small town. And it's one of those, it's like a comfort film to me. I can go to bed and put it on and fall asleep to it. There's something about this film. I just love it. Apparently it's very, very Canadian, which I never really as I've got old and I've got used to like watching YouTube, and I can really differentiate now between a Canadian accent and an American accent, like so much. So I can really pick up the Canadian accent a lot more than I used to be able to, and I think I can. It's a lot more obvious now, but because I think that the idea was back in the early 80s, they would just make movies in Canada because it was hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Rather like the way they film Marvel movies and DC movies in Liverpool because it's cheaper rather than filming in like New York or somewhere.
Basically, right? Yeah.
So
but I'm the same, mate. I love My Bloody Valentine. I actually enjoyed the remake as well. To be fair, I think it's one of the better remakes.
It's not. I mean, the remake came out at the same time, roughly the mid 2000s when they were just remaking everything.
Yeah,
and it could have been another Fog, and it wasn't. So fair play. If there was some like solid remakes in the mid 2000s of like classic 70s 80s slasher movies.
we did.
Chainsaw Massacre, Dawn of the Dead, Hills of Eyes. Great remakes.
Yeah,
and then you had the Fog, which was just one of the worst remakes of all time. So it could have gone that route. I mean, fucking hell,
terrible. But I also like what they did with the remake, where they kind of like, well, spoiler alert, they kind of like change up the ending a little bit and the characters and stuff like that. And I kind of like what they did there, But yeah, solid.
Got 21. We got Twitch of the Death Nerve, aka Bay of Blood. This is another Mario Bava movie. It's a giallo movie. I don't like this film. I know Lord will kill me for this, but I think this film is so overrated. I did not like this film one bit. I know a lot of people rate, and apparently it's a massive. I mean, I can see it. It's a massive influence on Friday the 13th.
Right.
But I don't like the film, and I know a lot of people love it. I just can't get on board for this film. It's just for me. It just no. I recommend watching it if you've not seen it, just because it's, you might have a different experience. But my experience was I did not enjoy it.
I'm sure I'll probably get a watch along with JT at some point because I'm going through them all with him. I haven't seen it, mate, so I can't pass any kind of comment on it at all.
Okay, so hang on, Dave. You were meant to like be keeping me up on board with the chat. Gareth asked for a link.
Oh shit! Sorry, I'm sorry. I've just been completely ignoring the chat. I'm sorry, everybody.
Oh, hang on. No. Hang on. Don't apologize. I sent him a link.
Okay.
No, it's not your fault. I sent him a link earlier on today, so it's not even your fault because he would have popped up in the box. This soppy bastard. So, Gareth, if you're still watching,
he'll be snoring his head off now, won't he?
I sent him a link. I sent him a link this morning. Yes, I did. Sorry, Gareth, but you got the link. You didn't answer, mate. Sorry. Jay says it's homework. I don't know. That must be something between Gareth and JJ. It's obviously watching some like really bad movie. Lawrence in the chat.
Some terrible ones.
Lawrence, what's up, Lawrence? This is going to be painful. Oh dear. Hope we don't see Halloween 4. We're getting a sinister visitor to the chat later. I think I know who you're talking about, Jay. What's up, Professor? Michael says, everyone knows there's also Friday movies, and this first one ain't one of them. Oof, that's last summer. Lorne says, I know it's a terrible film, really. You're obviously not talking about the original Friday the 13th movie, because I know you adore that film. What's up, Dan? What's up, man? Professor says, my favourite Friday the 13th for sure, part 4, the final chapter. It's got the best characters, good kills before they got super edited, and perfect booby balance. Yeah, I mean, was part 5 too much boobs, maybe? And part 6 was like, part 5 was like 100% boobs, and part 6 was 0 boobs.
Take it all out.
Part 4's kind of 50%. Dan says, just jumping in, that wouldn't be in the top 132. Fair enough, Dan. Cliff feels forlorn already. Or Halloween 5. Well, Halloween 5, that shouldn't be in there.
No, not at all.
Yeah, Cliff, I'm not sure I'm even watching, to be honest. Oh, thanks, Lorne.
Cheers, mate.
Well, just watch us react. You don't have to agree with it. Can I assume this list is for normies and not proper film people? Yeah, that's right. You can do.
Normies like me, mate.
There is, to be fair, they've put a couple of fair Giallo movies in there, so it's like,
Yeah, ones I haven't seen.
Yeah, the best UK horror list, that was a good one. That was Horrified.com. They had some like really just proper deep cut movies for that one. That was a really good one. Friday the 4th is the perfect gore to boobage ratio. Definitely for the norms who like Avatar and occasional mainstream horror. The Naughty Punish.
Naughty Punish, yeah, for our Saturday Night Deadly Night.
Oh shit, where have I gone? Shit. There was me thinking the chat was dead, and it's absolutely popping. Does he ever kill the mother super? She was right, Gav. I don't know much of it. It's probably it is. It sounds like a very much mainstream sort of like Vanity Fair, fucking Radio Times, fucking it's like that sort of shit. He cut it off. Didn't even get the Friday 4 poster the right way. It's round. It's flipped. Yeah.
Didn't even notice that. She was too free with the belt. You're right. She was a horrible bastard.
Never heard of Haunts. My horror love died somewhere around the millennium. Haunts is a great movie.
Give it a go, mate.
It could bring you back. I'm about to watch
it.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it.
It's a good movie, Jay. It wouldn't really fit with your channel. Like, you couldn't really make fun of it because it's a good film. So it's not sort of movie you can make fun of. This AI generated. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised, Dan. I think that's where we're going now with these like movie lists. It's like they just throw it into an AI generator.
Yeah.
And just see what comes out. House of Wax. Yes, exactly. It is probably Paris Hilton's best movie, including the porno.
Oh no, the sex tape's the best movie by far.
One Night in Paris was better than that crack. That was pretty poor too. And the definition of slash descends into meaning anything about human beings and blades. Yes, I mean, it slasher movie can be a kind of like, I suppose different people have got a different idea of what a slasher movie is. There is a pure definition of a slasher movie, but in 2024, that definition is just being expanded far beyond its original sort of like, means, like meaning, I suppose. Predator is kind of a slasher, but really has to be horror. I mean, Predator to me is sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
Whereas some people try to class Terminator as sci-fi horror. For me, it's just a sci-fi movie. I mean, I know people. For me, there's no horror in Terminator, but I know some people will disagree. But not the Parade. I remember. Yeah, you're thinking of the porno, Mad Gareth. Freddy's Revenge is my fave. Freddy is terrifying in that one. The bedroom dance is excellent. It is definitely. Freddy's Revenge isn't good, but it's the least shit of all the sequels. Not my friends. I mean, a lot of people do love 3 though. A lot of people love. I like Dream Warriors. I do like Dream.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, plus Meryl Streep. It's the Meryl Streep lookalike in part 2. She is a lot. She does look a lot like Meryl Streep. I keep thinking I'll soften on it every time I see it, but I still don't care for the movie. It has its moments, and at least Freddy is still threatening.
Yeah.
Don't get the love for Sleepaway Camp 4 to be shite. It's a thoroughly standard slasher flair, Michael. Nothing but a final scene to distinguish it. Yeah, I'd go with that. I mean,
Yeah.
Lorne, I'd like your opinions on part 2, actually, because I mean, I prefer part 2, but that could be nostalgia kicking in from watching that as a 12-year-old as opposed to watching part 1 as like an 18-year-old. So, give me your opinions on part 2. The Crying Game ending, yes.
Yeah.
Such a beautiful looking movie. What are we talking about? Just can't get into black and white movies. He's probably talking about Blood and Black Lace, maybe.
Yeah.
Dive into more of them, Mike. Check out our Jallo tournaments. I think I did check out one of them, Dan, definitely. And I need to rewatch years back. The Sausage Factory. I don't know if Lorne was even part of it. This is going back years. The Sausage Factory did like a 4-hour live stream on Jallo movies, which I never got round to watching. I definitely need to watch that one. Blood and Black Lace is definitely, it's a great movie. Do like a good Giallo, except the Argento one that's actually called Shallow. Yes. My Bloody Valentine kind of proved a decent story does help. Bava made maybe the most visually stunning horror films. They were lovely. Do like Bay Blood. Disagree, but yeah, a lot of people probably disagree with me. Most people probably agree with you, Michael. Check out the revised book, They Came From Within, A History of Canadian Horror Cinema. It is a great read. I'll have to make a bookmark of that because I do like a good horror, like factual book. I've got a few, but I need to sort of like dabble in more. I'm still trying to wait my way through Crystal Lake Memories.
That's massive.
I know. I bought it about 3 years ago, and I'm like, I'm still only up to like final chapter. It's fucking. It's just like it's like a fucking dictionary. It's enormous. It's great. Like I mean, it's one of those books you can just like read a few pages, stop, because it's one of those books where it's very short very short chapters.
Yeah,
you can just dip in and out of it. But because I'm kind of like reading that and I'm reading other things, it's hard. It's difficult to like sort of like just dedicate enough time, as well as like reading books and like trying to watch movies, trying to watch YouTube videos and trying to work all time. It's just that you can't fit it all in. It's just
you can't, mate.
It's just a nightmare. Oop called it. I love Bay of Blood. Massive to say the least. Mostly discovered due to its nasty status. What's up, Pug? What's up,
Hello,
Matt?
mate.
Shallow and Canuck Exploitation. Always good avenues to go down. Just checking in, and we'll watch the rundown later. Hoping catch it for the honeymoon pops up. Yeah, good luck with that one, mate. I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I don't think this is one of those lists. This list sure has some questionable movie orders. Cliff says Tim Lucas' book on Bava is hard to come by, but is an awesome tome to read if you can get your hands on it. Yeah, some of these books now are like going for a lot of money. And if you can buy the Kindle, you can't. But some of these books, you can't buy them on Kindle. I mean, I bought some books back in the day, like 90s, 2000s, and just downsizing. Like I just got rid of a lot of stuff. And like when I was living with my mum and dad, I had like loads of books. Not just horror books, but I like a lot of like fantasy stuff. But I had like like I had the Friday the 13th novel, which goes for the fucking fortune now. I had shit, and then they just fucking binned it all. Because I moved out back like in like early 2000s, but like, and I moved into my own place, and then I just had all these books, and like they kept on saying to me, "When are you going to sort this out? I'll sort it. I'll move it into my place." Yeah. And I never got round to it. I got round there one day, and I was like, "Where's all the books?" I just fucking got rid of them. Said you said you were going to get rid of them, you didn't. So it was like some sort of like someone came round, just after random stuff, and they just gave it all away. So like my Halloween novel, which is probably worth like about £100, it's just went to some fucking charity shop or something. Some lucky bastards picked for, oh fucking hell, that's worth a bit of money. I'll take that.
Yeah.
So yeah, just when you think about the stuff you threw away when you were younger, which is worth money now.
Yeah, tell me about it. I wish I kept all my Transformer toys.
Oh yeah, definitely. Lego, fucking Star Wars figures, you name it. This list was compiled by a tombola. You can get The Haunted World of Banio Bar by Troy Howarth and Stillcliffe. Friday 5 was all gore originally too. It was just shredded before release. I need to pick the point of release, but I haven't got through it all. I bet VT Sloss Parade magazine's hidden from his wife, folding in half in his VHS cases. He probably does, the dirty bastard. Lorne says, Dream Warriors is metal cotton candy 80s bullshit. Nostalgia glasses have all you in check. Okay. Oh, thank you, Lorne. Shallow shows before my time. I thought it was a long time ago. Stephen Fry was a big Franco fan. VHS cases always a good hiding spot because nobody in their right mind is going to bother looking in them. Okay, so let's record with the chat. Let's get back into the list. Okay, so number 20, we have got Final Destination 2000. Arguably, is it a slasher movie?
I was just going to say, I wouldn't put it as a slasher film.
I don't know what you'd really regard it as, though. Like, it's kind of its own. It's not. I wouldn't say it's its own thing, but like, it's kind of like, you know, some of the, you know, we wouldn't say all the kills are like slasher kills, would you? I mean, but I mean, and death is not. I always regard the slasher movie as something which is like at least human in some way. This is death, but I mean, I do love Final Destination.
Me too.
Mean, I love the first three movies. One, love it. Two, my favorite. Three, enjoy. And I seem to remember enjoying the one which is set as a prequel to the first film.
Right.
Was it The Final Destination or was it Final Destination 5?
Because
what they did is they went 1, 2, 3, 4. Did they? Then was it The Final Destination and then confusingly brought out Final Destination 5? Or was it Final Destination 5 and then The Final? I can't remember.
Oh, I can't. No idea.
I'm sure Dan will know. Dan or Lorne or someone in the chat will know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was The Final. They said The Final Destination. Like, this is The Final Destination. A bit like The Final Friday.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and then, or, you know, and then.
There's going to be another one coming out at some point.
Apparently they're doing they're just going to reboot the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which I'm down for that. But yeah, number 20. Yeah, I've got no problem with that.
No, that's.
I've only got a problem with it. I've only got a problem with it being higher than the final chapter. With the fact the final chapter is so low,
it's surprising.
I haven't got a problem with this being number 20. I've just got a problem with it being higher than fucking Friday the 13th final chapter.
Absolutely.
Number 19, we've got Scream 2.
Scream 2.
I think that's okay. I love Scream 2. I do love Scream 2. I mean, I know a lot of people hate on anything after 1. I love college slashers.
Yeah,
I love college.
Yeah.
After camp slashers, college. In fact, I may even go as far as say the college slashers are like even above camp slashers for me in terms of slasher subgenre.
It's just a perfect setting to have it in.
It is. It's massive. You know? You've got a massive building. And something we can't really relate to, like unless you're going to set it in like Oxford University, we can't really relate to it in the UK because we just don't get these massive like sort of like facilities for like you know like students. Where apart from Oxford and Cambridge, you know, aside, you don't really get these enormous sort of like buildings with like enormous camps on ground, you know, with like, you know, thousands of students. You just don't get that in the UK. So it would lose something if they tried to set it in on a UK university. It just wouldn't work. But yeah, I mean, I love camp slashers. I mean, college slashers, sorry, and I love camp slashers as well.
Yeah,
but, you know, Urban Legend. A lot of the 80s movies which were set on college grounds. Love it.
Yeah, and I thought Scream 2 was a solid sequel, if not better than the original. And I'm not saying that by a lot neither, because you know how much I love the original as well.
Yeah,
but yeah. I just thought Scream 2 just took the ball and ran with it, what Scream did, and knocked it out the park for me. Yeah. I adore Scream 2. I really do.
Yeah. If JT was dead, he'd be turning in his grave right now.
He would be. I might clip this for him and send it him.
But yeah, I mean, I mean, yeah, it's not quite up there with the great thing about 2 as well. 97, 90, I think it was a 97
Yeah,
release, maybe 98, maybe just 98 for the UK. I can't remember. But, still no internet really. It was in its infancy, so only internet
yeah,
was like the only internet was on computers, which you see in some of the opening scenes with Sydney.
yeah.
Once you go beyond the desktop computer, you ain't got shit. You know what I mean? It's smart.
No,
It's not smartphones. It's very very basic mobile phones,
yeah,
cell phones for American audiences. So it really benefits from that. Basic early internet technology. You can use it to a point, but after that, you're on your own. And
yeah.
as you
And
say,
there was
it's
some surprising kills in the second one as well. A couple of characters I never expected to get
yeah,
off. Really,
yeah.
you know.
Um, Dewey still got stabbed to death and still survived. That's
Yeah,
happened for another few movies after that, but so number 18 we got Freaky. I love Freaky.
this is something I need to check out, mate. I
Yeah,
haven't watched this movie yet.
it's a fun. It's you can imagine Face Off, but a slasher movie.
Yeah,
That's kind of like what it is, but it's like Vince Vaughn. It's just like hams it up as
yeah.
this big massive not brooding, hulking. Vince Vaughn's a big guy. He's like
He's a big,
6'5",
yeah, he's a
big
big dude.
fucking
Yeah,
guy. And then to put him into the body of a 5'2" college high school girl, and then put her into the body of it. It's just
yeah.
it's really well done, and it's a bit like if you like if you like Happy Death Day, if you like Totally Killer from last year,
Mm,
it's those high school settings movies, college movie settings where it's takes something which is a bit almost it's something very sci-fi and turn it into a slasher movie. It's
yeah.
a really good fun. Something that It's a Wonderful Knife did fucking terribly wrong.
Oh God, don't remind
So
me of that movie,
okay, so
mate.
go. So just it's not hard. Freaky. Happy Death Day. Fucking the other movie I just mentioned, which I've
Totally killer.
totally killer.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do. You can do it well. That movie, I think we criticised it on the last stream. Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
awful. But
Awful.
freaky, and some really fucking gruesome kills in this as well. The
Yeah.
buzzsaw with the teacher on the buzzsaw, I think it was. You haven't seen the film, have you?
I haven't seen it, mate. No, no.
I'm
no.
like that. The buzzsaw, and you're like, and then like, oh, you haven't seen the film?
No idea.
Yeah,
No, but
but
I need to check it out, mate.
It's surprisingly bloody. It
Yeah.
is. It's a lot more bloody than what you would think from looking at the trailer. You know what I mean? And the fact
Yeah.
that Vince Vaughn's in it, you think it'd be a bit more PG-13, but it's not. It goes out there with some of the gore. Number 17, we got Scream 4.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't put it above 2, but okay. It's better than 5 and 6, that's for sure.
I would agree with that as well.
I'd say that. Is it better than 5?
I would. Yeah. I
better than
think
6.
Oh,
It's better than
yeah,
6.
it's definitely better than 6. I think the only one that's worse than 6 is the third one, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, for 3's dog shit.
But Scream 4. I really enjoyed it. I've only seen it a couple of times. It's been a long time. But I remember I went to the cinema to watch it, and it was a lot better than what I was expecting it to be, because there was a massive gap between Scream 3 to Scream 4.
Yeah. I think it was 11 years.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that. Anyway, and I really enjoyed the opening of Scream 4 as well. I quite liked the opening of that.
Where they just keep on, it's Hayden, just keep on stabbing, and it's like you think this is the film, and then it's just it's not the film, and then
it's not the film. Then it's another. It just kept going like that for a little bit. I thought it was a lot of fun what they did with that. I think it's a solid entry in the series. Like I say, I'm surprised that it's ahead of Scream 2 because I wouldn't have had that. But I think it's worth being on the list.
Yeah, I mean, very, very. I would say this. I mean, I think 4 was given a 15 certificate in the UK.
It was,
and I felt 4 was more bloody than 5 and 6. Personally.
It was.
It was very, very. It was. I thought 4 was really, really graphic for a Scream movie. I thought it was the most bloody of the movie, and yet it 5 and 6 were given an 18, and this was given a 15. I thought that was really strange.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm sure.
I'm sure it got a 50. I'll check it out, mate. But I'm sure you're right with that. You know, I'm sure it did get a 15 certificate for us.
Number 16. Look.
4. Let's see. Oh, it goes to every other freaking thing apart from.
It's quite hard to find a fucking rating for a movie sometimes. I've tried to Google that a few times. I'm like, I just tend to go to IMDb and then it'll just give it.
I know it's rated R. I know that. That's not what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
Oh, I'll find it later. But I'm pretty sure you're right, mate. I'm pretty sure it was a 15 for us.
Anyway, number 16, we've got Cabin in the Woods.
Yes.
2012. Yeah, great movie.
Yes, big fan of this film. Like, big fan. Again, would I call it a slasher?
Not really.
It's,
the setting sets up a slasher movie, but it's its own thing, really.
Yeah, it is. I probably wouldn't call it a slasher or whatever, but I love this film, mate. Absolutely love it. And, like, just the whole scenario of it and stuff, I just thought it was just fantastic. Like, it just...
Did you go into the movie? Did you watch the trailer before you watched the movie? Because I saw the trailer and it gave away pretty full, because at the very beginning you see a bird fly into something and it disappears, and it's like they set it up as like, this is not a normal campsite. This is not a normal trip. And I was like, I wish I hadn't seen that trailer because it did kind of spoil it a little bit, because you knew. But having said that, though, the movie from the very beginning lets you know that this is not. There's something going on behind the scenes,
Yeah.
So it's not as if like it really matters that much, but it's. I mean, yeah, I love. I mean, the end, the last sort of 20 minutes is just balls to the wall, like insanity.
Oh, it's just fantastic, mate. Like, I think I watched this the right way. I didn't watch any trailers. I didn't really know much about the movie, mate. I'll be honest with you. I was working at the cinema at the time, and this was the new film that was starting that weekend, and I thought, saw Josh Whedon's name attached to it, saw the directors, that Drew Goddard or whatever, saw who was in it and stuff, Cabin in the Woods, and I thought, yeah, I'll give this a go.
It wasn't even well. It was it wasn't even released. I think this movie was made maybe 2 years before it actually got released. It was shelved.
It was shelved for a little while. I think it was because it was, I don't know, something to do with, like, was it MGM or something like that at the time or whatever? I can't remember.
But don't forget, Chris Hemsworth 4 came out in 2011.
That's
and this movie dropped in 2012, I think.
Yeah.
So I think by the time this film had dropped, Chris Hemsworth was a massive star.
Yeah.
So I think that helped.
That helped, yeah. And I just adored this movie. Like you say, that whole final act is just a horror fan's dream. Watching all that stuff, And it's got some really funny moments as well, especially when the guy actually gets killed by the mailman. I thought was hilarious. But brilliant movie.
Number 15, I don't regard this as a slasher film at all. American Psycho.
Right. I'm going to say something very controversial here. I don't think the film is that good.
No, I don't. I'm not a massive fan of it, to be fair. I'm not.
And it gets a lot of love and everything. Don't get me wrong. I think Christian Bale is brilliant in the movie. Like, absolutely brilliant. The performances are good. The film just does nothing for me.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I mean, I know it's I'm the same. It's apart from a couple of standout moments, obviously with the Jared Leto scene and the chainsaw getting dropped from the stairs. It doesn't do anything for me. It's not really my thing, but obviously a lot of people disagree, but
well, we're in the minority, mate.
Yeah, probably
100%. But it's not a bad movie. I don't think it's bad. It's clearly not bad. But it's one of them I would happily never watch again. I've watched it once, and that was it.
Now I know this website's slightly suspicious. They say, now considered one of our most prominent method actors, Bale spoke in an American accent throughout filming. When he spoke in his native Welsh accent at a rap party, everyone thought he was prepping for a different role. Christian Bale has not got a Welsh accent.
He's English, isn't he?
I think he was born. I think he maybe grown up in Wales first time.
Right.
But he has got an English accent. That is not a Welsh accent in the slightest. He sounds like
maybe he had a bit of a Welsh accent back then. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
Number 40, we got X.
Yes,
Love X.
completely agree.
Love X. Better than Pearl. Okay, putting out there. Haters going to hate. Said this last week. I prefer X to Pearl.
Still need to watch Pearl, mate. I still need to watch that one. But X, I think, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Loved it. Loved the setting of it. Loved that it was set in the 70s, and there was everything about it was just class, in my opinion.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
I think it was made in New Zealand, or was it Romania? It was
New Zealand, apparently.
Was
I
it?
think. Yeah.
I think it might have been Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022, which was made in Romania then, or Bulgaria.
Yes, it was.
Bulgaria, was it? It must be
Romania or
Bulgaria.
Bulgaria, one of them.
Yeah. They don't make movies in Texas anymore. They just send them to like other parts of the world. But I wouldn't have known the difference. It looked like Texas to me, and
yeah, absolutely.
I loved the film. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think what gives it away is with the fact it was set in New Zealand as well. It's like the guy who's like he's like directing the movie. He used to be in a New Zealand soap opera called Shortland Street.
I remember Shortland Street.
Yes, he was in it. Yes, the guy he puts his foot through the nail in the barn.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in Shortland Street.
Jesus
And that is a New Zealand soap opera, so that's kind of like, because I remember thinking, going, why the fuck is that guy in it from a New Zealand soap opera? And then it was only when I'd seen the movie, I was like, oh, this movie was made in New Zealand, okay.
Yeah, because there was like a couple of times with the Evil Dead series, Ash vs Evil Dead, because that was all filmed in New Zealand as well, and you can just pick like New Zealand actors in the background. You're like, I'm sure they were like Shortland Street or Home and Away or whatever. Like, and you could just pick them out.
I don't know if any movie's actually made in America anymore. It seems like every single movie's made in Canada, Britain, Australia, New Zealand, fucking middle of nowhere. It's like, I don't think any movie's made in New York anymore. Ever.
Oh, probably costs too much to do it.
Yeah.
But X solid movie.
Number 13, we got Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3,
Yeah,
Dream Warriors.
No surprise with that, mate, to be honest with you. No surprise.
No, I mean, I'd still put Dream Warriors number 3 on my favourites of the Elm Street franchise. So I'm not the biggest Elm Street fan. Like, I like 1, I like 2, I don't mind 3. Anything after that, I'm just, no, I'm done. I don't care for any of them, but...
Same. Same. If you go back and watch my reviews, mate, my soul is just slowly leaving my body after each review past Part 3. Because the rest of them are just the shite. There's no other way to put it, really. They just are. They just get worse. I mean, Part 4, I used to have like a soft spot for when I was younger, because it was probably the one I watched the most, weirdly enough. For whatever reason, Part 4 was kind of just more available to me at the time. So I watched that a lot more. So I used to like it, but now I'm kind of like, it's not good, you know.
That should just be, you know, on a sort of like Blu-ray cover for like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. You know, just like, you know, when you have like the critics reviews, and then just like it just says it's shite. Dave Savage Zombie Reviews, 1 star.
Yeah, it should. I agree. It should have it on there. It did, because Part 4 was when it really kind of went to where, you know, Robert Englund was. It went
full on MTV sort of like, you know, mainstream sort of like, you know, playing the fool type.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's like serious Freddy had long gone by this point.
He disappeared. Whereas I think with Part 3, they kind of got the balance right with Freddy. Like, you could kind of see the shift in personality in Part 3, but they still kept them quite scary.
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, throw in a couple of one-liners here and there. So they kind of got Freddy kind of perfect with Part 3 a little bit. But then Part 4, just from then on in, and that's got nothing to do with Robert Englund's performance, by the way, because he's always great, whatever he gets asked to do with Freddy. But just when Freddy Krueger stops being scary, then the film's just pointless, in my opinion.
Okay, number 12, I've got It Follows. Robert Mitchum as well. David Robinson. I love this film.
Very good movie.
Again, slasher movie, that's debatable. You know, but in terms of like, you know, it's one of the best horror movies of the 2010s by far.
Yes, agreed.
In terms of like, the setup is great. The premise is great. There's a few things that don't really add up during the runtime of the film, which you kind of have to just kind of put like to the back of your mind, because a few things don't really make sense in terms of like the logic of how it operates.
Yeah.
I've mentioned in the past, which I'm going to
Yeah.
now. But there's certain things don't really add up. But in terms of just like an experience, I think it's a great fucking movie. There's no sense of like time period. It could be set anywhere between like the 1980s
Could
and
be anywhere.
the 2010s. It's takes elements from Halloween, especially just the scene where she's like looking out the classroom window and it's walking, just very much like Michael Myers in Halloween '78. I mean, sorry, go on.
Say, mate. No, I was just fully agreeing with you, mate. I love the atmosphere of this movie. I love the tone of it. I just love like the feel of dread that it has in this movie. Like whatever it is, like you don't know when it's coming, who it is. That's the whole thing. That's what makes it terrifying. It could literally be anybody.
Yeah.
And one of the best jump scares in that movie as well is that young girl by the door in the corridor, and it's all dark behind it. Then you just see this really tall man just come into the frame. Man, that is some terrifying shit, mate. It's it deserves all the praise that the movie got.
I love the scene on the beach as well. The scene on the beach where she gets attacked and they all see it for the first. They know that something's going down. I was like, because they at the time they're all like, they kind of like, they're being kind to be nice to it, and they've got like good friends and that, which is like kind of unusual. A lot of horror movies, like friends can be like dicks, and there's no like really dickish characters in it. They're all like kind of nice people and fully supportive of it. And then it's like at the beach scenes, like they kind of like realize, oh shit, there's something going on here. It's like because obviously the kid gets attacked, the boy gets his chest slashed, and from that point on, they're like fully on board. And the soundtrack is fantastic.
Yes,
the soundtrack. There's a track called Detroit where they drive into Detroit itself. To find like the guy who basically set her up. And they're driving through, and it's just like it's just like a wasteland, and it's just really paints a picture of like urban decay. And it's just the music to that scene is fantastic.
Yeah,
but a great movie.
I'm looking forward to the sequel as well. Day follows. I hope it's because it's the same guy that did the original and everything. So I'm kind of hoping.
I'm hopeful, but I'm just. I mean, I'm a bit like nervous because it is one of those films where it's like it could have stood alone as
it could
one movie, and it's like I don't like it when something gets you spoil your legacy a little bit,
Yeah.
But hopefully it's a good movie.
Hopefully.
So, at number 11 got Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
No, that's too high. It's too high up for me. I don't dislike the movie. But again, same with the other one that we were talking about, the American Psycho. I don't get the love for it neither. I respect it, and there's elements of it I do enjoy and I do like, and it's not a bad movie by any means. I mean, take 1, 2, and 3 out of the equation. This is probably the best next one, in my opinion, in the series. I love the look of Freddy. I mean, he looks cool there. You know what I mean? I love the look of him. I like how he's got the jacket. That jacket just suits him completely.
Yeah, it does.
But I just, I don't know. It was just a film that I didn't really love when I first watched it as a kid. Well, as a kid, I was like 14, 15. But I didn't take to it then. And then when I rewatched them for my reviews and stuff, I liked it more than what I did do, but I still felt the same way with it. I feel a bit detached from it for whatever reason. And I feel like it's because it tries to play it like real life, like she is Heather Langenkamp, and and they wear like the Elm Street movies, and it's not really Freddy. It's a demon or whatever. And it just kind of, I don't know, it doesn't really connect with me.
I'm the same. I mean, I like the film. I mean, I just like this movie was kind of like what Craven wanted with Scream.
Yeah.
What he wanted, what he got with Scream was he wanted New Nightmare to be this like big hit, and obviously every movie you want to be the big hit. But in 1994, I don't think the people were quite ready for that like sort of like ultra meta sort of like horror movie. And with Scream, it kind of he hit it big with that one, which was that meta sort of movie. It just didn't work quite with New Nightmare, probably because it's like all the baggage connected to having Freddy Krueger.
Well, it's
involved, but
established. It's established characters at the end of the day as well, isn't it?
yeah,
It's just it just for me, it just doesn't really connect with me, and it's one that if I ever like kind of do go back on the series and rewatch some of them, I would never think to put this one back on. I just wouldn't.
yeah.
So yeah, I know there's a lot of love for it, and I know there's big fans of it, and I'm not surprised it's actually high up on this list because it normally is when you come to these kind of lists. But yeah, it's not for me. I wouldn't have it as 11. The fact that this is above Friday the 13th Part 4, mate, is just baffling.
Yeah.
But we could say that about a lot of them. Really.
I know. Well, I'm just wondering whether we're going to get Part 6 in the top 10.
Must do.
Let's get back in the chat before we go into the top 10. I think all the Final Destinations are good fun. Dan says, more hits than misses. It's a fun franchise. I'm shocked they haven't made a new one. But I mean, if it's about Final Destination, I think, yeah. Fucktard Espinoza, howdy boys. If you're
what a great name.
Yeah, if you're a new subscriber, Fucktard, I sound offensive calling you that, but that's what you put yourself as. Please, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you are subscribed, welcome aboard. I actually lost a subscriber this month, so I'm actually like -1 for January.
That makes a change, mate.
I know. It's crazy.
I'm normally African -7 or -9.
Is January notoriously bad for gaining subscribers? Because I've never known a month like January. Oh my god! I mean, I don't exactly gain many subscribers, but I gained like one and then lost them. So it's just like, what the fuck? What's up, Jonathan?
How you doing, mate? You're right.
It's going well, man. No, Jay says number 4 was called The Final Destination. Then number 4 was a prequel, so technically number 4 is still The Final Destination. Okay.
Right, okay.
Scream, like Lorne's not happy with Scream. Okay. Number 5 was. That's what I thought. Yeah, number 5 is the prequel. If they're actually putting a Scream sequel on the list, the original is getting the top spot. I think Halloween will get the top spot.
Yeah.
I think Scream will be in the top 5 though. In Scream 2, I always expect the dildo to come through the toilet cubicle wall. Yeah. Yeah. And expect the black girl to die in the first scene. Jesus Christ, not free. I liked Freaky Dan. Fuck Freaky. Oh, nobody likes Freaky.
Here we go. There's some hate for this.
The AI that wrote this just committed the war crap. Is the author of this article deaf, dumb, or blind, or just dumb? This list is making me want to scream. They're going to put the whole franchise on the list. I always love when fans champion the Scream films, but then proclaim that they're not normies. It's pretty much the definition. I am a normie.
Me too, mate.
I am.
I'll wear that badge proud with honor right here.
I'm a normie with a webcam. That's all I am. I'm trying to educate myself into like more. That's the whole point of like how I joined YouTube a few years ago. I am a normie. I've always been a normie, and over the course of time, I've been educated into watching, more our house and shit. Like giallo movies and shit, and that's what I've been doing. And and some of them I've loved, and some I've not loved so much. But I do like my sort of like I am like sort of like when it comes to horror movies, I'm kind of like a McDonald's, Burger King, KFC type of guy,
Yeah.
And occasionally like to indulge in like a Michelin starred meal. But that's me. Cabin in the Woods is not a fucking slasher movie. Yeah, it's not.
It's not a slasher movie.
It's not.
It's a great movie though.
Michael Miles said, are these an order from Best First? Well, like I say, I think someone's put it in a fucking, just a fucking randomizer and just spewed out a load of movies. I have trouble believing the person who wrote this even watched the Barber films. I feel like the Barbers were thrown in for some class, especially if they were suspiciously right next to each other. Yeah, probably. American Psycho is the slasher film either. Yeah, I totally agree. You like it? Oh, that's what's up, Sean. You took your time getting on board tonight, man. Where have you been? You like hearing news? No. Read the book. Yeah, it's not a slasher. How the hell is everyone agrees with American Psycho? Psycho, of course. Psycho's probably going to be number one, isn't it? I totally forgot about Psycho.
Not a bad shout, that, Jay, actually.
Seems to be one of, yes, yeah, it's always on these lists. Pearl was excellent. I like Pearl, but I didn't think it was as good as X. But again, I'm in the minority with that one, I think. Lorne says, Slash It is both an aesthetic and a formula. A movie doesn't have to be slavishly stick to either, but has to have at least some recognizable elements in the forefront. Many of these don't qualify. Pearl is better than X by a mile, but I like both. Sean, might as well put yours in it. Fuck it. Where did this list come from? Some random website, Jonathan, called Parade.com, but it is kind of a mainstream website. I'll probably try and do some really obscure one maybe next week, which is just like, again, which is Midsummer Murders is more slashes than some of these.
Midsummer Murders, love it.
Most insurance commercials are closer to slashes than this. It Follows, not a slasher. Pretty much every film in this list is not a slasher.
Yeah.
Don't Get New Nightmare. Would rather watch Freddy's Dead than that one. No, come on.
God.
Fuck off, Michael.
Jesus
Mike, come
Christ.
on. No, I disagree with that one. This list makes no sense. This list was written to get on people's nerves. I feel like I'm getting on everyone else's nerves by reading down the list. Lorne's mentioned it in his suicide note. Oh my God. Dan says, It Follows was never meant to be a franchise. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with that one. I'm going to print this list out and do a slash on it. Yes.
Hey.
You shite mare. Freddy looking creepy again.
Yeah.
You might just far exceed the very little expectations at the time. I used to think New Nightmare was clever when I was younger, but good God, it's an uneventful slog. See, I've not seen the movie since the late 90s, so
yeah,
I honestly, Vince McMahon could be the new Freddy. There you go. Right? I don't know if Freddy Krueger is quite as just disgusting and just morally bankrupt as Vince McMahon. I don't think Freddy was ever taking shits on women's heads.
No,
which is apparently what Vince McMahon was doing. But okay, let's get back into the top 10. Okay, so number 10 we have got Candyman. Overrated. Sorry, I'm not a massive fan of Candyman.
Oh, right, okay. It's one that I haven't seen for a long time, but I do remember watching this as a kid, and it scared me, like really, really scared me. And I remember a time with me and my mates, we'd watched it, and then obviously as kids you'd all go to the bathroom and then try and get each other to say Candyman 5 times in the mirror. Yeah. So we did, and then my 2 mates ran out the bathroom and locked me in. I was fucking banging on the door to get out. But yeah, it's one like I don't really rewatch it or anything. I've probably seen it like maybe a handful of times, Candyman. But it's definitely got like an eerie atmosphere, like a very creepy vibe to it. And I think Tony Todd plays it like he's fantastic. Just his voice alone sends fucking shivers down my spine in that movie.
Did you watch the did you watch the remake? Sorry, the rebooted version. I actually quite liked it. It got a lot of hate. I thought it was a decent movie.
I enjoyed it because it was more of a sequel than what I thought it was going to be as well.
Yeah. It went back to Cabrini Green. It's just all become like gentrified. It's not the way it was, and it's more of a social. It's more of a political commentary on the way things have gone there, and a little bit, and how things have changed. But it was a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit in your face. Some of the how would I describe it? The modern world and. It was a little bit woke. I mean, but it was okay. I still had a good time with it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. Yeah, but I get why like Candyman's like top 10 and stuff.
Number 9, we got Child's Play.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I love that. I love Child's Play, but I like the again. I prefer the second one over the original. But that's not by saying like I don't like the original at all, because I do. But for some reason I just think the second one just kind of hits the nail on the head a lot more.
Yeah.
But God, who doesn't love the original Child's Play movie?
I love 1 and I do love 2. 3 it goes downhill after 2 for me.
Yeah,
I've
agreed.
not watched anything after Parade, apart from the remake. I've not seen Seed, Curse, anything. I've seen the remake with the AI Chucky, which is just not as creepy.
No.
You know, it's taking in like an AI doll and making it as, and plus you got Mark Hamill. I think was it Mark Hamill?
It was Mark Hamill, yeah.
Yeah, rather than Brad Dourif. I mean, it's just not the same. But
No.
yeah, an AI doll is not as creepy as somebody who's like a serial killer who's, you know, taking his soul and put it into the body of it. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
don't know why they changed that for the
Yeah.
remake at all. That it was, I didn't understand that. Like I don't dislike the remake neither. To be honest, I think it's okay, you know,
Yeah.
but it's not a patch on fucking the original
And
at all.
I do like season 1 of the Child's Play TV show.
Yeah, I did as well.
It's just went downhill in season 2. I've not watched. I got halfway through season 2 and just checked out. I just think that it just went completely shit, and I've certainly not checked out season 3. But yeah, season 1 was great. I mean, number 8, we got Black Christmas in '74. Obviously,
Yeah.
this was gonna have to be in there. This is just one of the greatest slasher movies of all time.
Completely agree.
Just
another one that scared the living piss out of me when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Just
massive.
seeing Billy's eye in that
Yeah.
wardrobe fucking haunted me. Probably still to this day, mate, to be honest with you. Like, just that shot is terrifying.
Yeah.
And listening to him on the phone and stuff,
Yeah.
and like, it's a brilliant horror movie that doesn't get enough love. And I don't think it does. You probably, in the horror community, it probably does, but similar, I think, like just wider.
Well, like I say, I mean, I've said this before. Like before the internet, I had no idea this film existed. It was never in the V8. It was never in the video shop. I think it might. I don't know if it was on the Video Nasties list, but this movie did not exist in VHS stores in the 80s and 90s in the UK that I remember. Not where I was.
Yeah.
And not,
I don't remember this on video now. I think I first watched this on BBC One.
BBC One showed this? Really?
Yeah, I think on like a Friday night or something, like about 11:15 at night.
Wow.
Yeah.
I rented this from Amazon's rental DVD service in about like 2002, 2003. Because I was just getting into all these movies that I'd never heard of, because if you didn't see the movie in the video store as a kid, this is before the internet. How did you know these films existed? You didn't. You didn't know these. It was only when we got online and we started like reading, getting on online forums and stuff. And like, I didn't get online until 2002. Like that's when I got a laptop, not a laptop, a desktop, big massive desktop computer, and this was dial-up internet, so it was slow as fuck. You know, it's just like people forget how like young the internet is. It's like it didn't exist in the 1990s. The internet only existed for people who were like proper like hardcore computer boffins.
Yeah.
You know, normal people did not have the internet in the 1990s. It's just, you just didn't. And like nobody had, obviously smartphones didn't exist. So, thousands and thousands of these movies were just completely under the radar for everybody, especially in the UK. So, I mean, it's like Gareth, the streamer did tonight, that, Hard to Die. I'd never heard of that movie. If I'd seen that movie when I was like 14-year-old kid, I would have been like over the moon. But it's just like these movies never got like they never saw a video store in the UK certainly not that I remember. And Black Christmas certainly never appeared in any VHS store when I was a kid. So yeah, I mean, God bless the internet, because this movie, when I did watch it, it was like a revelation and massive influence on Halloween for the opening shot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's yeah.
And the fact that it was the director who, same guy that directed Porky's as well.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
bizarre. Yeah, and just dropping like
it's a great horror movie.
Just dropping like just dropping C bombs into like the phone conversations, which is like in '74. Like in '74, that was not a common word to be dropping into a movie.
No,
certainly not a horror movie. It's just you certainly don't. You wouldn't see that in the '80s movies, really. So it's just ahead of its time in every way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, just number 7, we've got the original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Of course.
I mean, not much more to be said about this movie. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the franchise, but I do love this film.
Yeah.
No, some amazing kills.
Yeah, of course it's in the top 10. I mean, I think we've spoke about the movie enough on a lot of streams, haven't we? You know,
Yeah.
but of course it is, because it is one of the best horror movies, so it's naturally going to be there.
That scene right there is a classic.
Yeah, it is. It looks goofy now when you watch it, though, but it is a classic.
The fingers across the metal are so good.
Yeah, it's still the scene with the girl in the body bag being dragged down the corridor in the school and stuff is still really well done and creepy in
that. Number 6, we've got Scream 1. Yeah.
Yes. Watch the chat meltdown.
Yeah. Yeah, like it says,
but it deserves to be there.
Of course, it does.
It does.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think that opening, like 10 minutes, is one of the best openings to any horror movie ever.
Agreed.
In terms of getting you on board with, if you look at when you look at Netflix now, when they try to suck you in with when you open Netflix up and you click on between the new TV shows and movies, they go to something that's going to suck you in straight away. So you hover on it and then it'll start playing, and it plays you like the most gripping like part of the show or the film to get you on board. I mean, Scream, if you just if they put it on Netflix, if you just played that first 5 minutes, that would just everybody would just be streaming it. If they've not seen the film, they would just be instantly pressing play.
Yeah,
because that is the impact, that the power that that opening 5-10 minutes is just so, it just draws you in and it doesn't let go.
Yeah,
and the fact that they take Drew Barrymore, who was the most well-established, most famous member of the cast, and it killed her off in the first 10 minutes as well.
Yeah,
it's like anything goes with this film. It's like nobody's safe really.
Yeah, anyone could die at any point in this movie. Yeah,
and it's a brutal, in terms of the first kill, a brutal film. The Drew Barrymore kill is brutal. It doesn't hold back. And
no, it doesn't. It's harsh as hell.
Yeah,
but like I say, it's it gets a lot of hate now for some reason, but like not from me at all. It's one of the best slasher movies ever made.
Number 5, we've got the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre from '74.
Of course. Yeah, it just goes without saying. Again, not a film I love, but that's not to say that I dislike it neither. I respect the movie a lot. It's a hard watch for me. This like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not one that I could just throw on.
No, you've got to be in a certain
frame of mind. You just and I can't say I enjoy it. Enjoy it is not the right word. But I can sit down and it's horrific. Like everything about it is unsettling.
Yeah.
I remember I watched this for the first time when it got re-released in, was it like 98, 99, wasn't it?
I went to cinema. The first time I saw it was a cinema release in the late 90s.
Yeah. So I went to watch it at the cinema. I think I was over in Bebington at the time, or I watched at the Odeon there or something. And that was my first experience with it, mate. And I walked out that movie and I didn't know what to make of it. All I knew was I was fucking traumatized. Like that's all I really knew. And it was through like the sound. It was like our main character just crying all the time and screaming. And at one point I'm sat there and I'm like, please, for the love of God, like just kill her off. She's driving me insane. But I'm pretty sure that was the point.
Yeah.
Just
the opening, like sort of like kill as well. Just like when they come into the house and you see Leatherface for the first time, it's just like the door comes up and he just whacks him over the head, and it's the way that he collapses and he starts. It's like very. It's like there's nothing like glamorous about it, and there's nothing like cinematic. It's like a realistic reaction to getting clubbered over the head with like a fucking mallet, whatever it was. His legs are shaking, and it's just like you can imagine like that's how things would be in the real world. It wasn't like some over the top gore fest. It was just like felt like a very real sort of kill.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. A lot of people, when they think about like Texas Chainsaw Massacres, they think of like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
there's not that
really
much blood.
gory. This, that.
Yeah,
There's hardly anything in it.
yeah. It's all
It's just
suggested, and
it's all up here, mate.
well,
It's all psychological.
the girl on the meat hook.
Yeah,
You don't really see much,
don't see anything really. No.
but it's all. You think you've seen more than what you do.
Yeah.
Um,
But the key word for me with that movie is respect it. I respect it massively, but I could happily never watch it again.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Number 4, we've got this Alien is not a slasher movie.
It's not a slasher movie at all, man.
Love
That
it,
shouldn't even-
but
Yeah.
it's not a slasher movie.
No, it's not at all. Great film though. I
Yeah.
love Alien. But yeah, it's not a slasher film at all. It shouldn't be on the list. If we're talking slashers,
Yeah.
there's like a lot of these that shouldn't even be on here. Alien is definitely one of them. But great movie.
Number 3, Halloween.
Oh, here we go.
So Psycho will be number 1. So I'm trying to think what number 2 will be.
Oh, this is good. Because I was pretty sure Halloween would probably be first. But but you know, what new can we say about Halloween we haven't already said before?
Yeah, I mean, there's not much more to add to it, really.
No,
unless Halloween Ends is number 1.
Oh, I would. God. Could you imagine?
Stranger things have happened.
I would just. I'd lose my shit. Oh God. Yeah.
They surely wouldn't put The Shining as a slasher movie.
Hey, they put fucking American Psycho.
I know. I'm beginning to think it's The Shining in
or Exorcist.
Number 2 is
Psycho.
So what's number 1 then? What's number 1?
I bet you're going to go for The Shining. I bet it's The Shining.
It wouldn't surprise me. Just because he's got a fucking axe.
But Psycho's a great movie.
It is. I still think it. The fact that it's black and white. It's from 1960. It's Alfred Hitchcock movie. I still think it gets a lot of. I mean, it's not one of my favorite horror movies. I'm going to be honest. I've watched it a couple of times, but it's just there's a million and one movies I prefer over Psycho. But I guess
I understand that. I get you. I'll tell you what's a better movie than Psycho, mate. It's actually Psycho 2.
Yes, it is. I agree. I agree.
So maybe that should be number 1. It won't be though.
No, we're looking at either if The Shining, it can't be. The Exorcist is not a slasher.
Friday the 13th Part 6. That's what it needs to be.
It won't be. Number 1 is Peeping Tom. Well, that's
Tom.
So it's this. They're definitely going for like what they think is cool. I think like art house because I mean I've not seen Peeping Tom. I really do need to watch this film, but this is by some definition. I know Lorne disagrees, but it's like the original slasher movie. It predates Psycho by.
He's the one where he's filming his kills, isn't he?
Yeah. And the director, just his career was just ended after this movie. They didn't want to know because it was such a controversial movie.
Yeah. Well, especially for its time. I mean, 1960.
Yeah.
No, no one would have seen things like this.
No.
Back then. I think I've seen it, mate. I think I have, but I'm talking years and years and years ago. So I'd have to watch it again. I'll give it a rewatch. But there's a lot of love for this movie.
Yeah, I know. I definitely think that this was placed there to try and just say, oh yes, we are like proper. We're doing a proper list here. Even though they've filled it with like a load of movies which aren't even slasher movies, they've just we'll put Peeping Tom at number 1 to try and keep people happy. But anyway, that was the top 32 slasher movies of all time according to Parade.com. Certainly not the most definitive list I've ever seen, but it is what it is.
I think our lists are better. Go back to our past streams. Our lists are better.
Okay, so let's jump back into the chat. We've got Dan saying new Nightmare coming summer 2020. So we getting a new Nightmare movie next year?
No, we're not. You would have heard about it if we was.
Yeah, I think Dan's just joking, maybe. Love Candyman, but don't feel like the body count is even high enough to be a slasher. It's more like psychological thriller in a way. It's
more psychological, yeah, it is.
Jay, the Candyman remake is an absolute joke. I didn't think you'd like the remake, Jay, to be fair. I wasn't a big fan either, but I like it for what it is as a horror movie. But yeah, the social commentary is a little bit on the bit heavy-handed. But that's 2022, 2023 move for you. So Jay, there wasn't a remake. What you talking about? Original Child's Play, definitely a slasher.
Yeah.
Even the write-up is calling it a supernatural thriller. A group of black people discuss police brutality for 90 minutes. Oh yeah, and some people die too. That would be the Candyman remake. Love all the Chuckies except Seed, naturally.
I hated See the Chucky. It was fucking awful. Yeah.
I laughed the whole way through it. I think he's referring to either Candyman or Seed.
I think he's still talking about the Candyman remake.
Hellraiser remake was way better than Candyman. I like the Hellraiser remake a lot.
Remake was ace.
Yeah, I really like that.
Thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, because before it came out, I'd heard absolutely nothing about racist police in the US. Someone got fired towards the end of the list, and the editor stepped in to finish. Black Christmas wasn't so nasty, but yeah, can't recall seeing it on video ever.
No?
No,
yeah,
never. I would have remembered the cover art. As a kid, we all remember like the VHS movies, like just distinctively remember every single movie in that video store. Never saw Black Christmas. Never. Jonathan says, wait, Amazon had a DVD rental program. Yes, in the early in the UK.
Yes,
in the early because we had Love Film.
Yeah.
We had Amazon, and I think Blockbuster were doing an online rental DVD
for a short period of time, anyway. Yeah.
Jay says, I'm a bit worried that Law may have followed through with a suicide note. Michael Myers says, gonna have to call it a night, guys. We'll watch the restaurant replay. Take it easy. P.S. Halloween better be number one. Oh, later, Michael. Thank you, man.
You'll be disappointed.
Even though you've already gone. Jay, oh no, I forgot about that. I'm still blown away by how low Friday the 13th was in this list.
Yeah, yes. Mate. Yeah.
Scream at 6. Oh, dear, lol. No rung in the hallway. What's up, Gary? Scream. I like the first one, but this is way too high in my opinion.
I don't think it is.
What's up, Swaggy? What's up, man? Peeping Tom seriously drags. See, I've not seen the film, so I can't honestly say. So I'll have to rectify that.
Yeah, I think I have, but yeah, I'd have to give it a rewatch.
Well, that sums up that list. Anyway, we've got 5 or 10 minutes to kill. So, going forward, what have you got going with your channel in terms of? I saw your Salem's Lot video today.
All right, cheers, mate.
Yeah, I've got no real desire to see a new Salem's Lot film. To be fair, I know you're a big fan of the original, like you said, but I mean, I like the original movie, but for me,
I'm more curious, mate. To be honest, more than anything. But the thing is, for me, it's like I think Salem's Lot would work better as a series than
have they not done a Salem's Lot TV show already?
I don't know, mate. It wouldn't surprise me if they have tried one or they've done one.
I lose track because there's that much stuff now on TV. I can't keep up.
There is, but I'm pretty sure they're going to release this film at some point this year. I'll be surprised if it isn't. Apparently Stephen King likes it, which I didn't realize until I was reading out that article today. It had a couple of test screenings that went well. So
they probably paid Stephen King to say that, and he's just said, "Oh, I'll take the fucking money."
He probably did, mate. Yeah, but no, I'm just curious about it, man. I'm just curious to see what they've done with it. You know, if it's going to be any good or not. Other than that, what else is coming on my channel? I'm trying to get around to doing these Evil Dead reviews, and every time I try, just something pops up. So I haven't been able to do them yet. But hopefully I'll have the first one out soon in the next coming days, and then I'll be able to do the other ones. So they'll be my next group of movies. I will probably try and fit in My Bloody Valentine, the original one, for kind of around Valentine's Day-ish.
Yeah.
So that's the plan anyway. That's what I'm hoping I can do going forward. If nothing else happens in my life, if it just leaves me alone for a couple of days, I'll be able to crack on with it. But yeah, that's the plan anyway.
Professor says the world needs a remake of Maximum Overdrive. It's
No, it doesn't.
They've remade everything else from Stephen King, so I don't know why they don't just remake that as well. But
that movie is terrible.
They kill to be fair, they kill a kid in that movie with a steamroller, which is quite entertaining. So, yeah, I don't. Stephen King's kind of like it's either it's here or it's here. It's just like there's no in between with King. It's just it's glorious or it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, what did I watch recently? I've not seen for the longest time. Graveyard Shift. Fuck me, is that movie? That movie is fucking awful.
I haven't seen that in a long. Is that with the giant rat or bat or something?
Yeah, it's like rats. There's just like rats, and it's like a giant rat thing. It's killing.
Yeah,
I think I might have even mentioned how bad this film was in last week's stream. It's the sweatiest movie you've ever seen as well. Everybody's just sweating because it's like wherever they filmed, it was like 150 degrees. It's just like so fucking. I mean,
I haven't seen it for a long time, mate. I think I
enjoyed it when I was a kid, and then you go back and watch some of these, and he's like, "Oh my god, this does not age well at all."
That's what I mean. But I think I watched it back in like when did it come out? Like 1990 or 91 or something.
And like the main, like the owner of like the factory. I can't work out if he's American, English, or South African. It's just got this like bizarre accent, which can just go. I'm like, where is he meant to be from? I was like, I don't know if I can only guess they've got this guy who is from one of these places and is trying to do something different. I don't know. But I tell you what, I have really enjoyed so far. I've been binge watching a shitload of Netflix stuff. And there's like apparently it goes downhill in the last episode, but there's a show on Netflix called The Watcher. And it's Naomi Watts is like in it, and it's the main actor as well. He's been in loads of things. I can't remember his name. But it's one of those, a couple of them, they've moved from New York to like suburbia, bought a big, massive, like, massive mansion.
Yeah.
But where they're living is kind of like next to like an already established community of people who've lived there like for like years and years and years. And they look upon them as like this sort of like swanky, sort of like rich couple who've moved in. And they're kind of like sort of like a bit like more simple, if that makes, you know what I mean? Like rural types. Whereas like there's like the big city types who've moved in, and they're kind of getting spied on by the neighbors, and there's stuff going on where you think someone's in the house and shit like that. And I'm only 2 episodes in, and I'm really liking it.
Yeah.
But apparently the last episode like just completely ruins the whole fucking show. So I'm dreading like it being like the big letdown when I get to. But it's only 7 episodes, so it's not like a big investment of time. It's one season. So yeah, I mean, I've kind of like, for the longest time, I kind of like didn't get on board with Netflix, but then I've kind of like started seeing a lady friend, so we say, who's got a Netflix account. So when I'm round at hers, I've been, instead of watching films, I've just been binge watching a load of Netflix TV shows, and this is the latest one. So yeah, so I've kind of like understand the appeal of Netflix now. I never really got onto like Netflix, and I've kind of become like a Netflix whore now, and I'm just like watching all this shit I'd never would have watched because I usually just watch movies.
Yeah.
Because when I go round to her house, it's just like it's Netflix and it's a TV show and it's binge watching. So yeah.
So you're getting into the Netflix and chill, are you?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. It's only took me like 15 years or however long it's been going, but yeah. But yeah, so Professor Macabro says, how about a remake of that movie with the sperm monsters in the airplane? The Langoliers, was that it? Oof. The Langoliers, that's one where they get on a plane when they land. They're the last people on Earth or something? Or
I don't know. I have no idea about that.
Jay says The Watcher was good, but falls off a bit. Kid from E.T., isn't it? Is it? I don't know.
So Henry Thomas, is it?
He's not in it so far, from what I've seen, because the main guy is not Henry Thomas. He's like an Italian guy. He's in every horror series on Netflix. Yeah, they have
He's
a
at the
thing with
moment.
Netflix where any of the English shows, there's the same actor is in all of these fucking shows. Oh no, that's not the one he's in. He's not in.
There you go.
Get out of that immediately. She'll leave you. They all leave.
Oh God.
Scottish guy, what's up, man?
How you doing, pal?
Yeah, basically. So that's where I'm up to. Anyway, I always feel bad when somebody joins the chat and we're just about to wrap things up. Scottish Ski Guy, we've been going for 2 hours, so I do apologise.
I need to go to bed, mate.
Yeah, I do need to go. I need to go to bed as well. But anyway, it's been fun tonight, man.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah.
We could try and make these a regular thing. I'm going to say, Charles, sort of now you've got a more sort of like set routine in terms of like work and stuff. Hopefully, we can start getting something going like on a regular, like weekly, bi-weekly basis, because it's kind of like, I mean, yeah, Jake said we got like a really good sort of like, you know, repartee banter and shit. It works well, and I think it does as well. And I think, you know,
me too.
Yeah, I think what I'll have to do is you can always stream this to your channel as well. You know, I don't know if you're confident if you like doing that, because I know you're not. I know you've not really taken the jumped into like doing your own streams, but this is a way of you not being responsible. I'll have to ask Gareth how exactly I send it to you, but you could you could just basically stream the stream to your channel and your subs, but you don't have any of the responsibility of hosting it.
Oh, that sounds perfect to me.
Leading it. You know what I mean? So you can just sit there, be the guest, but it still goes to your channel. I've done that a couple of times with Gareth's.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, I just need to work out how to send it to you. I'm not entirely sure. Gareth will explain it to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you could just stream it to your channel. You could use your own thumbnail, and basically just So any of your subs who aren't subscribed, it works both ways. I mean, it gives you a way of streaming, but not streaming, if that makes sense, because you're not. And also, maybe I can get some of your subscribers to come over to my channel, because fuck me, I need them.
If any of you are watching, sub to them. Oh, there you go. Sub now.
Yes. So, but going forward, definitely some of the stuff that you do in terms of like, I mentioned it in a DM, you know, some of your like news streams, your news videos you do, taking some of the elements of that and maybe turning it into like a longer form stream and discussing shit.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Definitely. But
I'm up for that.
Yeah, sound.
Absolutely.
So, just quickly catch up with chat before we go. List was questionable, but you guys made it entertaining. Take care, fine, James. Thank you, Pref.
Thank you very much, mate. It's lovely of you to say.
Lawrence has left to make and eat dinner. What one?
Should we tell him?
Peep and Tom. So I think he'd be quite happy. Yeah, he said that's respectable. I knew Lorne would appreciate that at least.
Okay.
I don't think he'd appreciate Scream at number 6, though.
No, not at all.
Don't think he'd appreciate that.
I think we're best ending the stream now.
Yeah. On that note, we will end the stream. For everybody in the chat who jumped on tonight, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody.
I will be back next Sunday. Dave, will you be available next Sunday?
Yeah, I will be actually. Okay. Yeah, I will be. Yeah.
Okay. We might do another one of these, or we might try and turn it into something different.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, everyone in the chat, thank you very much. I will see you next week. Good night.
Take care, everybody.